There's a field right behind our work building, and go ahead, come on. Okay, thank you. Hey, people nice around here to motorcyclists. I like that. What's going on, guys? Dalton with a D, back with a brand new video, and it's a beautiful day in Central Texas. It's a beautiful day for motorcycling, for fishing, for whatever you guys want to do, so I hope you're out enjoying yourselves like I am, although you're probably not enjoying yourselves as much as I am, because not only do I get to come out and ride the beautiful Ninja 400 today, but I'm actually just leaving an appointment with my chiropractor slash massage therapist, and not only that, but I get a really good ride in because the chiropractor and massage therapist that I go see are about an hour away from where I live, but I go because I get to see both with a very, very minimal price tag thanks to my insurance. And then I figured while I'm out here, and we're looking at moving out to this area, actually, I figured I have the time, I may as well explore a little bit. So I've been coming to this city my whole life, but I've never really gotten off the main highway and explored any of it. So all this neighborhood, all these things, that little park back there, all this is brand new to me. I've never seen any of this. I don't know what I'm gonna find. I actually did this a while back just to loop around and avoid having to turn around on the highway, and I found a park named after me. Not really named after me, but it had my last name, my actual last name. Usually there's an extra letter, people get it wrong. But so all that aside, let's get into today's topic, and it's something I'm really excited about doing and I've wanted to do for a while. I just haven't had a good day to do it thanks to the crazy weather we've been having in Texas, and I do mean crazy weather. We went from days like this to waking up tomorrow and there being a string of tornadoes and streets flooded, and we actually had a tornado land right behind my work. There's a field right behind our work building, and go ahead, come on. Okay, thank you. But guys, without further ado, here it is, my Ninja 400 1-year review. First off, let's get the obvious out of the way. After 1 year of owning this bike, do I still feel like I made the right decision for this as my first bike? Absolutely. I have no regrets buying this bike. This bike has been fantastic, and I am looking at trading it in and getting a different bike, but it's not because I'm not satisfied with this bike. Honestly, I wish I could talk my wife into me keeping this bike and getting my next bike, because I have so much fun on this bike. This bike is amazing, guys. So clearly we know how the review's gonna go, but the bike's just awesome, guys. It's been everything that I've wanted it to be. So let's start off with the looks. I'd say more often than not, the thing that catches somebody's eye about a motorcycle and gets them interested in that motorcycle in the first place is the looks. It's probably fair to say. And everybody wants to have a bike that I think looks good, it looks cool, and guys, the Ninja 400 looks fantastic to me. I love the H2 stylings, the headlights, the little lip in the front, everything. The bike looks like a track-ready super sport, man. And to the untrained eye, I guess all these bikes do, but I can't tell you how many people pull up on this bike thinking it's or how many people see me pull up on this bike and think I'm on a super sport, just a small one, you know. It looks like a super sport. It looks like a 600, but smaller. And it feels like it, you know, the way this thing rides, you know, Moto America, to the point that Moto America has opened up a cup for smaller displacement bikes like the RC390 and the Ninja 400 and the CBR 500. These are great bikes. One of my motorcycle safety instructors actually was talking about buying one of these for his to make a track bike out of, because they're so much fun and handle so well. So we've talked about the look of the bike, which admittedly is subjective. You know, everybody's opinion is going to vary on that. But what about the performance of the bike? Well, I can put it to you like this. All my buddies that ride 600 Super Sports cannot leave me on this bike. Now, they may outrun me, particularly in straightaways, and even then, not so much until what we'll call higher speeds, this little bike has some punch, man. This is a powerful little bike. It'll surprise you for a two-cylinder. It'll surprise you for a little two-cylinder 400. My cousin, I don't know where my cousin happened upon an old Suzuki Katana 600, you know, but that's a, granted it's an older 600, 600, but that's an inline 4 6-cylinder, that's an inline 4 600, and this bike keeps up with that bike almost perfectly. So we've already established, I think the bike looks beautiful, which again is subjective, and in my opinion it's beautiful. I think there's plenty of power in this bike, especially for what you're paying for it, considering what it is. And honestly, I think for a brand new rider, this bike might be a little too powerful. But what about the handling? Well, to be honest, I think the handling is the best feature on this bike. The handling is what makes this bike what it is. I don't know how well you guys see that playing on this GoPro, but when I was a kid, I saw one of those crash, and on the other side of the fields that belong to our family, and we didn't actually see the crash, but he was crop dusting, and we kept seeing him go down and coming back up, and one time he went down and didn't come back up, and then there was a big thing of smoke way on the there's a big black cloud where he had went down the field. This motherfucker is kind of close, man. That's a little uncomfortable. The handling, honestly, is what makes this bike so much fun for me and really gives it its identity. You get kind of the super sport experience with the forgiving nature and price tag of a starter bike. And there's one other thing people need to understand, and I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but it's relative to this review. And I don't say this to discourage anybody or wave them off of a certain type of bike, because I love super sports and I would like to have one. But the reason that people can keep up on this bike with a 600cc track-ready race bike is that most people cannot push a 600cc super sport motorcycle to its absolute limit. And I'm talking about on a track with the perfect weather and their best day they've ever had, the best riding they've ever done. Most people cannot push a 600cc super sport to its absolute limit. And I really started thinking about that with my buddy. I know the wind noise is getting bad again, guys, I'm sorry. But my buddy that's got the ZX6R, we were talking about getting ZX10Rs, both of us. And he made the statement, I don't know why I really need one. I don't even feel like I push the ZX6R to its limit ever, you know. I just want it, and when he made a really good point, and it made me think, why do I want that right now? I mean, I think I'm pushing this Ninja 400 close to its limit, but I don't even think I pushed this thing to its limit. So I said I was going on a tangent, and it's relative to the review, and it is relative to the review, because if somebody could push that Ninja, that 600 to its limit, this bike would be toast, right? On the same level, if somebody pushes this bike to its absolute limit, this bike, I think this bike could keep up perfectly. So if you're worried about getting a Ninja 400 and getting left by your friends and not being able to keep up, honestly, unless they're Rossi or Marc Marquez, you really don't have too much to be worried about, as long as you don't ride in a straight line all day long, and really, who wants to do that? So we've established a few things so far. The bike looks amazing, there's more than enough power, and with a $5,500 sticker price for this KRT edition like mine, the bang for the buck is fantastic. And the handling is 10 out of 10, world class. Top-notch handling, great job by Kawasaki. Absolutely the best feature about this bike. What about some negatives? Well, the main one that jumps out at me off the top of my head, and I'm pretty sure everybody agrees with me, is the exhaust. So I'm going to be fair about this, because there's only so much you can do for the exhaust note on a 400cc two-cylinder bike. But you can at least make the exhaust system look nice and be out of the way where it's not going to cause a problem. And Kawasaki didn't get that memo, because what they did is took one of those telephone poles, they cut it in half and painted it, and they stuck it on the back of this bike, and they put it right behind the foot peg. and I mean right behind the foot peg. But Dalton, how does it sound? Well, it sounds like you'd imagine a 400 sounding. It's quiet, and there's not a lot of balls to it. Now, I've heard some good aftermarket exhaust on this thing, but the stock exhaust is pretty bad. And that's a minimal point because the bike is so much fun and it doesn't take away from the fun. But to give you an idea, I came screaming past my wife the other day at about 80 miles an hour. And when I asked her how loud it was when I passed her, she just kind of went, I didn't really notice. And it kind of crushed me for a second. I know the motorcycle, the point of the motorcycle is not necessarily to be loud, but damn it, you want to be heard. Again, this is a 2-cylinder 400cc bike. I don't expect it to sound like an R6, but I do think it could sound a little better. So one aspect of this bike that I do hear people bring up in a negative light quite frequently are the brakes. Now, I personally don't have an issue with the brakes on this bike. I have no problem stopping this bike. The bike does have ABS, and I've heard people complain with other models of bikes that their ABS engages too early or even too late. I think Kawasaki has it perfect. The ABS engages just when needed. You know, I can really get on these brakes if I need to without the ABS hampering that, but I don't have a problem slowing down and stopping either. Some people complain that the brakes feel squishy, and I will say after a longer bit, like if I've been out riding for an hour or so and I've been hitting a lot of corners and doing a lot of trail braking, you can feel they get a little squishy, but nothing to write home about. I don't think there's any problem. The bike seems great to me. So I just realized I forgot to talk about the sitting position and the comfort level of the bike. As far as the sitting position goes, it's very upright, very comfortable. The foot pegs are centered under the body perfectly. I don't feel cramped on this bike. Granted, I'm only 5'7", I'm a shorter guy. A taller rider might complain about feeling cramped with their legs on the bike, but I don't know, I've never had tall person experience. So, and I flat foot this bike with both feet with no issue, perfectly. I can flat foot this bike and stand and hold the bike up, no problem. So I might even suggest this bike for shorter riders. If you're worried about the height of the bike, I might even suggest this as a good choice just on that principle alone. So as far as comfort goes, I can ride this bike all day long. My back won't hurt, my arms won't hurt, my wrists won't hurt, my legs won't be cramped up. As long as you get out and stretch every now and then, you'll be okay. But there is one point of discomfort with this bike, and it's the seat. The seat will give you a case of the red ass in about an hour. I love this bike still, clearly, just like I did the day I brought it home, and I'm going to be sad to see it go whenever I do trade it in, hopefully for a Z900, I think is the way I'm going to go. I thought about the MT-09, formerly the FZ-09, now finally called the MT-09 here in the States, like it should have been the whole time. But I'm kind of Cowie loyal, man, and you don't see Z900s around. You always see the FZ/MT-09s, but you don't see the Z900s, and, you know, it is what it is. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Go ahead and leave a like and comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Hit that subscribe button for me if you haven't, and be on the lookout for new uploads coming soon. As always, I'm Dalton with a D, and we'll see you next time.